Hey everybody, Mike here from Penman's Gaming, back with another pickup video. This is the first video I've recorded for 2019, for various reasons. It's been a couple of weeks since I last posted, and I haven't actually recorded any since 2019 hit, mainly because I've been a bit run down with a cold and buggy and all, bunged up and mucusy, and that's not really the best way to try and talk into a microphone. It wouldn't have been nice to watch, to be honest. It wouldn't have been pleasant at all. And the other thing is, I've been working on what will be a major project. Hopefully will be kicking off in the next few months, which I will announce closer to the time, so stay tuned for that. But also want to hope you all guys all had a great Christmas and a great New Year. And I kind of figured to start off the New Year, I would show you some of the games I've picked up over the Christmas period as gifts or got in the sales or what have you, and take it from there. So I'll stop rambling and we'll get straight into it, shall we? And first off, on the bat, I decided I'd kind of need to bulk up my Nintendo Switch collection. And everybody's been raving about this that I know about, everybody at work, and that is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate on the Switch. Never really got into the Smash Bros games. I've played them every now and then. I think I've played it once or twice on the channel with Liam as well, and I've got a couple of them, but never got that into them. And I know people rave about these, say that they're awesome games, they're brilliant, including a couple of the guys I work with, which is what made me get this. And I've been playing it, and yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's a decent game. I'm probably one of the few people that turn around and says, to be honest, I don't see what all the hype is about. Yeah, it's an okay game. I enjoy it as I go along. I enjoy unlocking the characters and getting through the classic mode and working on I believe it's the story mode and things like that. I just don't get what all the big hype is about it, to be honest. I'm enjoying it, but it doesn't seem to be that huge, awesome game that everybody tells me it is. But there we are. I guess not everybody can like every game that everyone else likes, can they? I mean, I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm just saying my personal opinion is it's not the huge, amazing title that people seem to tell me it is. But there we are. And that is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate on the Switch. So next up is another Nintendo Switch title in my efforts to increase the library of Switch games I've got and justify actually buying the console, because I haven't really spent much time on it, and that is Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. Got to be honest, haven't played this yet. I've literally played through the intro part just for the footage for this video, but haven't got around to playing this yet. Played a bit of the Pokemon Go on the mobile phones, and yeah, I kind of enjoyed it. It was okay. I'm looking forward to having a look at this, because from what I understand, it's obviously a cross between that and the original Pokemon games, which I really loved. Although I've got to say, the last one I completed, which will probably be a bit of a shameful admittance on my part, is Pokemon Crystal on the Game Boy Color. I've dabbled on a couple of the others since, but haven't fully completed them. I decided a couple of years back to go back and basically play Crystal and complete it all the way through, despite not having completed any of the more recent ones. I've played them, and I really enjoy them. I do like the Pokemon games, and I'm looking forward to getting into this and learning a bit more about it. Everything I've seen and read about this says it's a really good game, and it's something I'm looking forward to getting into. So, next up, continuing the whole bulking out the Nintendo Switch titles, is StarLink Battle for Atlas. This is a space shoot-'em-up combat-y type game where you can play as multiple characters. On the Nintendo Switch, you have the exclusive character of playing as Fox from Starwing, or Lilac Wars, or whatever you want to call it. And this is one of those games where it's gone down the same line as like Lego Dimensions or Skylanders or things like that, and it has the whole gimmicky thing of it comes with a starship, a character, and weapons. So I'll just show you that. So this is the one that comes with the Switch starter pack. As you can see, it's Fox's ship from Lilac Wars, or Star Fox 64, or whatever you want to call it. And the thing is with this sits on the controller. As you can see, I'll pull off, the weapons come off, And they've gone down the whole kind of path of you can purchase different weapons and put them on and they'll appear in the game. You can change your ship, get different ships, and obviously the different ships will appear in the game. I guess the different ships have different stats and abilities, as do the weapons. So you've got elemental weapons, so fire, ice, and then there's a few others which obviously you're meant to spend loads of money on to unlock. They go on, and also same as the characters. So you put your character on. See there. Focus, Tall Fox. And obviously they control the ships. They all have different perks and abilities, and so on and so forth. And they appear in the game in real life. So again, I mean, you've seen these gimmicky things before, the standard. But to be honest, I'm a sucker for starships. Always have been, as anyone who knows me will be able to testify to that. And they come in with a decently made, I think, not too bad. I mean, it's obviously a plasticky thing, but looks quite cool. Starship, which I can always put on display, is always good fun. Now, when you're playing it on the Switch in docked mode, you get this extra controller as well. Or this, not controller, but where you put the actual Switch controllers in, like the dock thing, and this is where you put your ship on and it appears in game. You can switch out the ships or characters, as I mentioned. So very gimmicky, very Skylander-y, Lego Dimensions type thing, which you'd think they would have learned from by now, but I guess they make the money in the short term, so they'll go for it. And it's in the game. Now, the game it's in, I really enjoyed, to be honest. I'm getting quite into it, and I like the combat in it, the space combat, the ability to go down to the planets and scan life forms and collect resources and upgrade your ship and your character skills and all that type of stuff. And it's quite good fun. I'm getting quite into that. And I might bring you a bit more gameplay of that later on down the line, of just where I am in the game. But it's a really cool, fun game, and I will no doubt show you a bit more of it and how it plays out later on. So that's it for the Nintendo Switch games. Now over to the Xbox One games, which I've only got a couple of since the last video. And the first one of those is Lock's Quest. Now this, haven't played it yet, but on the back we've got a build, defense and battle against the Clockwork Horde in 2D action RPG tower defense hybrid. I picked this up, believe it or not, from B&M's, which for those of you who aren't aware is kind of a chain, kind of, I suppose you can call it a discount store in the UK if you're watching outside the UK. And this was on sale for $9.99. Well, not on sale, this is how much it cost. $9.99, which I didn't think was a bad price for an Xbox One game. And to be honest, it looks pretty cool. It's got kind of like a real nice cartoony look about it. Looks like it'd be good fun. And I can't wait to get some gameplay done on this one. So next up is a game that I mentioned in a previous Throwback Tuesday that I was hoping to get in the sales or at some point when it dropped in price. And it turns out I didn't have to, as I was bought this as a Christmas present and I was well chuffed for that. And that is Soul Calibur 6. I've put a bit of time in on this. Not a huge amount, but a bit of time, and I'm really enjoying it. The combat in it's really awesome. Looks amazing. I'm liking the story mode. Well, I finished the, what you suppose you could call the story mode. I've got through that, and then there's a couple of story modes actually. The initial story mode for all the main characters, which I've done, and I'm now currently working on the story mode for a character that you create and take him through and level up his weapons and stuff like that. Once I've done that, I'll be working on the arcade mode and all that good stuff, unlock on all the weapons, and hopefully getting as many achievements as I can. Probably won't 100% it because they're online achievements, and I tend not to bother with them too much. But really enjoying the game. Like I said, looks great. We've got the guest character of Geralt from The Witcher, and he's awesome, stupidly powerful. I'm still sticking with my main character at the moment of Maxi. I think he's brilliant. And yeah, that's Soul Calibur 6, a game I'm really enjoying, and hopefully I'll get you a video of my progress upon that sometime soon. So, over to the PlayStation 4 now, and the first up on my list of one of the games I bought for me for Christmas was Naruto Shinobi Striker. This is obviously the latest Naruto game, or Boruto game, whichever way you want to put it. And this is a online fighting game where you team up with potentially 2 other people and fight another group of 3. There's also like training missions or virtual missions they call on this, and it's kind of like a group-based fighting game. I'll be honest, I'm not overly impressed with this one. Compared to the previous Naruto games, I don't think this stands up against them in the slightest. But I'll give it another try, see if I can get into it, but at the moment I've played it for a few hours and I just can't seem to get the feel for it, to be honest. It doesn't feel nearly as in-depth or as enjoyable as the previous Naruto games. But on the other hand, that just kind of builds up my hype for the Jump Force coming very shortly, which I'm looking forward to. Like I said, I've given this a few hours ago and couldn't really get into it, just not liking the combat, and I'm not a huge multiplayer fan at the moment, mainly because I just don't have time for the multiplayers that often, and I like to get straight into a single player mode first and get through that, and this just really seems to be lacking the single player component on it, which, you know, it is what it is. It is a online multiplayer at the end of the day, where you create your own character, take him online, and go against others. I just think it's a bit of a disappointment compared to the previous games, but you never know, I might get into it if I go back to it at some point. But yes, so that's Naruto Striker. Next up is another game that I've been wanting to get for ages, and I was so chuffed that I've managed to get this, and this I picked up for 15 quid at game, and that is Detroit Become Human. This is a David Cage game. For those of you who've played Heavy Rain or Fahrenheit, I guess, things like that, you'll know what to expect. Very similar to them, but this looks awesome. And the story so far, I've got a fair bit into it, I won't say that much, played a few hours, but the story in the game is basically you play as one of multiple androids. It jumps between their stories and their kind of experiences of being treated as a slave class, basically. The androids have got to the point where they are pretty much self-aware individuals, and it's just it looks like it's going to be one of these games where these androids end up wanting to claim their independence. At least that's where I think the story is going, and it's the personal story of it jumps from the personal story of a couple of different androids and the different situations they're in. So far, really enjoying it. Can't wait to get further into this and get deeper into the story. So next up is a game which wasn't even on my radar, let alone on my list of games that I wanted to play, and that is Harvest Moon Light of Hope Special Edition. Picked this up at Argos because they were selling them off, and really impressed with it, to be honest. Really gotten into the game, really enjoyed it. I haven't played a Harvest Moon in ages. I mean ages. And it's really cool to get back into it. Obviously, the same basic principles of the farming and the harvesting and all that lot are still there. What made Harvest Moon such a cool game to play. And I'm really enjoying this at the moment. This came in a collector's edition, so it had like a big barn, which opened up, and you got like a mug and a tote bag and a couple of badges or something. I'll maybe do like a review video of that some point soon, because I'm really enjoying this game and been putting in quite a few hours on it. It's really cool. Okay, so next up on my list of games that I've got over the Christmas period and New Year period, this is the one which I've put the most hours into. I'm absolutely loving this game, and this is Fist of the North Star Lost Paradise. I had to look at that because I always seem to want to say Paradise Lost, but it's Lost Paradise, exclusive for the PlayStation 4. This is a awesome game. I picked this up off Amazon. Ridiculously, it was a lot cheaper to buy it from Amazon America and get it sent over here than it was to buy it at one of the local stores, or any of the local stores, to be honest, for some weird bizarre reason. That includes the bloody postage and Oh, that lot, it still worked out cheaper, but this is a awesome game. You play as the main character, Kenshiro, who has mastered the art of Hokuto Shinken, and he's still looking for his love, Yuria. He ends up in a city called Eden, which is meant to be paradise, and you end up helping a load of random people protect the city and with their own problems, and protect them from thugs and mutants and all sorts of nasty pieces of work, using the special martial arts of Hokuto Shinken, which I'm sure, as you can see from the videos, are proper over-the-top. It's an over-the-top, proper kind of excessive violent game, but at the same time you've got weird mini games in there, like making cocktails. I've recently just unlocked an arcade in the city where you find lost arcade cabinets and bring it to this guy. Then you can be playing games so far like Outrun and things like that. It's mad. All the different mini games, like playing baseball with attackers on motorbikes where you're smacking them with bloody giant bars. What else is there? There's a nightclub management game in there. There's mini grabber games and all sorts. It's a really impressive, really funny, over the top game, which I would recommend to anyone, especially if you're a fan of the classic manga and anime of Fist of the North Star. I'd recommend picking this up because it's a really enjoyable game, and it runs on the latest Yakuza game engine, and from what I understand, kind of plays very similar to that, but it is awesome. Can't recommend this enough. It's one that I've been putting so many hours into, with the intent of 100%ing it, really enjoying it. So next up is another game that I picked up during the sales. I think I got this for £10, I think. I'm not entirely sure. I remember it being quite cheap. Some of that I've been interested in picking up for a while, but was never overly fussed about getting until now. Well, not that I'm overly fussed about getting it now, but I saw it at the right price, so I went and picked it up, and that is Shenmue 1 and 2 on the PS4. I've got them on the Dreamcast, and I think I got the second one on the original Xbox. But I figured it'd be quite cool just to play them on the PS4, get them in the nice upscaled HD graphics. Doesn't say that it's been enhanced for PS4 Pro, but it should still be quite a good looking game, I'm hoping. All I've done so far is record a bit of footage for this video. Haven't played any of this yet, as like I said, I've been playing most of the time on the Fist of the North Star, but I'm looking forward to getting into Shenmue 1 and 2 on the PS4, mainly because I've been wanting to play it for a while, but I just can't be asked to do it on my Dreamcast. So yeah, Shenmue 1 and 2 on the PS4. Not sure if I've said Shenmue 1 and 2 enough yet. There we are. So next up is another game I picked up from B&M for $9.99. This is a game which I hadn't heard anything about, to be honest, and probably should have, given the look of what's been put on the cover of this game. It looks like a really interesting game, and it's the Day 1 edition of Torment, Ties of Numenera. Apparently the most funded RPG on Kickstarter. So there we are. This is the Day 1 edition, which comes with physical bonus content of a world map and soundtrack CD. And there we are. Soundtrack CD. And I always like a map. Who doesn't like a map? And there is some bonus, a bonus code in there, which I'll not show because I haven't redeemed it yet. But this looks like it's a weird type of RPG. So we've got experience a deep science fantasy epic spanning countless lifetimes. Earth 1 billion years in the future, discover a world built on the ruins of hyper-advanced civilizations. Civilizations capable of tearing holes in time and space, reshaping the continents, and rekindling our dying sun, and claim their relics as your own. Death is not the end. When you die, your mind rebuilds itself inside a psychic labyrinth. Wander into paths to unearth long-buried truths and hear stories that cannot be told by the living. A game of choice and consequence. Make thousands of meaningful decisions and construct a legacy that will change the lives of untold others. Define your morality beyond mere good and evil, and write your unique story no other player can repeat. Brian Fargo presents a new RPG masterpiece set in Monte Cook's world of Numenera. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Looks like a really interesting game, and I'm really looking forward to getting into this. Next up is one that I received for Christmas, which I was really chuffed about, as this so far is the only one in the collection I don't have apart from the Nintendo DS game, and that's part of the Dead or Alive series. That's Dead or Alive Xtreme Free. This one is the Fortune Edition. This wasn't released in the UK, so this has been imported from Japan. I think it was PlayAsia that this was bought from. And like I said, I have all the other Dead or Alive games in the series, apart from this one and the 3DS one, I think it is. So obviously when this came out, I know it came out a while back, but it was never released over here, the collector in me says I've got to have it. Whether I end up actually playing it or not, regardless, it's part of the collection and I need to have it. Now I probably will end up playing it at some point just to see what the game's like, because I've heard the Xtreme series is quite a, should we say, unique type of video game, which I haven't actually played. I haven't played the first two Xtremes either. But I do enjoy the actual mainline Dead or Alive fighting games. I think they're really cool fighting games. So it'll be interesting to see what comes of this one, to say the least, I guess. And last up for the PS4 games that I've got is another B&M's bargain here at $9.99, and that was Valkyria Revolution. This includes a 12-song soundtrack and is the limited edition. As you can see there, another Japanese, let's have a look, RPG type thing. Bound by a promise, a young man casts his life onto the battlefield and takes on the incarnation of death, the Valkyria. A thrilling adventure, follow a profound digital story depicted in gorgeous moving paintings. Lead the vanguard, unleash Ragnite spells, and customize your squad's priorities for battle. This is a one-player game. I know the Valkyria series has been around for a while. Again, it's another series which I haven't really looked too much into. I do play video games, honest, just not these ones. So I'm looking forward to getting into this and seeing what it's like. So, although that's it for the video games, that's not all the pickups I got. I also managed to pick up, going back to the Nintendo Switch, from Smith's Toys, is a wired Yoshi controller. 20 quid. I've since been told that these are now on, these have since been on sale in Tesco's for about $5, I've been told, which is just my luck, really. But there we are. Can't be helped. So yeah, wired Yoshi controller. That should be pretty cool. I think that takes my wired controllers for the Switch up to 2 now. I think I got the Zelda one as well. Cool looking controllers, and the not too bad feeling. I prefer an actual controller, to be honest, to the standard Switch controllers. The Joy-Cons, is it? I just can't get on with them. They're just too small. So that was for the Switch. Next up is another Christmas present that I got, which I'm really chuffed about, and I will be doing a unboxing and first look at this coming soon. And this is the Atari Retro Joystick. As you can see there, we've got the Retro Joystick with 50 classic Atari games built in. So this comes with 3D Tic-Tac-Toe, which is 32 in 1 in brackets, Adventure, Air Sea Battle, Asteroids, Blackjack, Bowling, Breakout, Canyon Bomber, Casino, Centipede, Circus Atari, Crystal Castles. I'm not going to go through them all, but what else have we got on here? We've got Street Racer, Submarine Commander, Maze Craze, Real Sports, Football, Tennis and Volleyball, Yars, Revenge, Video Chess and Pinball, Tempest, and the Sword Quest games are also on here as well. So, like I said, there's no footage for this just yet, but I am looking forward to hooking this up and playing it. It still uses the composite cables, is it the RGB cables, although there's only one audio, so I don't think this was in stereo to begin with. So it might not look the best on the 4K TV that it could, but I'm still looking forward to playing it. Like I said, it's a quick plug and play original Atari style joystick with all the games built in, which is awesome. Can't wait to do an unboxing and a video of this one. Now, next up is something that I wasn't really that fussed about getting to begin with, because it was just well out of a price range I was willing to pay, but it's since dropped in price, which kind of persuaded me to get it, and that is the PlayStation Classic Mini, with 20 built-in games. Now, I think initially when this launched, it was for, was it £99? Well, £90, and the lineup of games in it just didn't interest me, to be honest. I think that the games that they've picked, some of them are good. I think they could be a lot better. But this was dropped in price to £45 at game, so I've figured, why not? Give it a try. £45 for 20 PlayStation games. Upscaled in HD is always a bonus in my eyes. And obviously since then it's been revealed that you can add more games if you're into the putting ROMs on there. Not sure if I will or not yet, but we'll see about that at a later date. So yes, this is Sony's attempt at getting into the mini console market after the huge success of the SNES Mini and the NES Mini. I'll probably do like an unboxing review of this again. We've got plenty of videos coming up soon. But yeah, the 20 games they've given, although they are some brilliant PlayStation games, they're just a few missing, which I think should have been on there. I mean, we've got, what, Battle Arena Toshinden, Cool Borders 2, which I fail to see why that's on there, Destruction Derby, which was I remember playing that as a kid, Final Fantasy VII, Grand Theft Auto, Intelligent Cube, which again is a game I like, Jumping Flash, I remember playing Intelligent Cube on the demo, and that was awesome. Metal Gear Solid, another awesome game, Mr. Driller, which looks some kind of column style game, Abe's Oddworld Odyssey, which was an awesome game, Rayman, Resident Evil's Director's Cut, yeah, that's a decent one, Revelations Persona, Ridge Racer Type 4, Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, yeah, Siphon Filter, Tekken 3, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, Twisted Metal, yeah, and Wild Arms. Just some decent titles in there. Some of them are a bit throwaway. I think I would have rather, let's put that up there, rather have had other titles in there. There was a pirate ship one, was it called Overboard? I think it was. That was pretty cool. That would have been cool to have on there. No Tomb Raider, no Soul Calibur. But I'm not going to sit here and go for all the games that aren't on here that should have been. There's plenty of other people who have done that. Instead, I'll just say that I was quite happy to pick this up at 45 quid. Although I've since been told that these have been sold off at Tesco's for 25. So, just my luck really. Found that out a couple of days after. But there we are. That is that for the Sony PlayStation Classic. Or Mini, whatever you want to call it. So that was my video game pickups for December 2018, January 2019. Some awesome video games in there that I can't wait to get stuck into. And some awesome games and products there which I'll do a review of on video for your awesome guys. Speaking of you awesome guys, I would love to hear what you guys got for Christmas and New Year. Did you get anything in the sales? Did you get any awesome games for Christmas? Did you get any of the ones that I've mentioned here? I'd love to hear your opinions on them and what your thoughts are, and if you've got any tips on any of the games that I've got for when I start playing them, that would also be great to know. I want to thank you all for watching this video. It's greatly appreciated. If you enjoyed the video, please feel free to leave a like and a comment. That would be awfully kind of you. And also feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. That would be absolutely awesome and greatly appreciated. But as always, a big thank you for watching, and I will catch you all in the next video.